Namaskar, good afternoon. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I'm Smriti Rastogi with Midday News. Let's begin the bulletin with the headlines. Chairman adjourns Rajya Sabha till noon over opposition protests on electoral bonds, privatization of PSUs, government to reply to discussion on surrogacy regulation bill, discussion on transgender bill to continue in the upper house. Congress MPs protest over electoral bonds, disinvestment of PSUs, stage walkout in Lok Sabha, House to take up National Institute of Design Amendment Bill listed for consideration and passing, discussion on pollution and climate change to continue. Government unveils major economic reforms. Cabinet approves strategic disinvestment of oil firm BPCL and 4 other PSUs. Sanctions 42,000 crore rupees relief to telecom companies. Clears bill to replace ordinance to reduce corporate tax. Amit Shah to kickstart BJP's campaign in Jharkhand today to address 2 rallies in Lather and Lohardagga. Election Commission team reviews poll preparedness in the state. Manu Bakar and Ila Venil strike gold in ISSF World Cup finals. Manu creates junior world record in the women's 10 meters air pistol. Ila Venil bags top honors in the women's 10 meters air rifle event. Our top focus this afternoon, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu adjourned the proceedings of the Rajya Sabha till noon over opposition protests. After the formal business was conducted in the upper house, Chairman said that he has received notices from several members to suspend the business and take up discussions on the RBI's objection to electoral bonds and disinvestment of PSUs. However, he rejected the notices, saying they do not warrant suspension of other business and taken up on priority. He added that it was the prerogative of the chair to decide which discussions should be taken or not. The opposition members began protesting, after which the chair adjourned the House till noon.
Honourable members, I have received notices from Mahmood Ali Khan, Bikari Prasad, reservation expressed by RBI on ECI bonds, and KK Ragesh, situation arising receiving Supreme Court decision regarding eviction of forest dwellers. Yadaram Karim, concern over disinvestment. I have gone through this and I have decided not to admit them because they do not warrant suspension of the other business and taking up this on priority.
After the House assembled at 12 noon, the question hour was carried out smoothly. Members raised several matters of public importance. And for more on this, we'll go across to our correspondent Akhilesh Suman, who is joining us over the phone line from Parliament premises. Akhilesh, how is the day panning out in the upper house today?
House today there was disruption by the opposition members, but many times it is considered that when the House assembles, there are many issues that are raised in the House, and there is an amicable solution given by the chair at that point of time, and also there are talks after adjournment. If the House is adjourned for some time, the leaders of opposition
parties, even the treasury benches, they go and meet the chairman, and accordingly they decide. So there was disruption indeed in the morning, but when the House assembled at 12 in the noon, the question hour has gone very smoothly, and there were so many good questions that has been asked, and members tried to know and also tried to get clarifications from the members. And so, you know that this is an important day today because this is the Prime Minister's day, and Prime Minister himself was sitting in the House, and many questions was asked emanating rather from right from atomic energy, from ISRO, external affairs minister was also there. This is also a day when external affairs ministry questions are asked. So external affairs minister was also there, textile minister Smriti Irani was also there, electronics minister Ravi Shankar was there. So there was a really very interesting question and answer regarding either H1B visa or about Chandrayaan. So I think it was a good interaction in the house after 12 noon. Smriti.
Right. Akhilesh, you stay put with us. We'll come back to you for more inputs on Lok Sabha, and the question hour proceedings in the lower house witnessed protest by the opposition members following adjournment motions filed by the members of Congress, DMK and Trinamool over various issues. The Congress party gave adjournment motion notice over the lack of transparency in the electoral bond scheme and demanded the government disclose all the details about electoral bonds. Congress MP Manish Tiwari raised the issue in the House, calling it a matter of public importance. Congress MPs later staged a walkout during the 0 hour.
इस सरकार ने जो चुनावी बॉन्ड, जिसको अंग्रेजी में इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड कहते हैं, वो जब जारी किए हैं, उससे सरकारी भ्रष्टाचार के ऊपर एक अमली जामा चढ़ गया है। मेरी बात सुन लीजिए, ध्यान से सुन लीजिए। अध्यक्ष जी, 2017 से पहले इस देश में एक मूलभूत ढांचा था और उस मूलभूत ढांचे के तहत जो धन पशु हैं, जो धनी लोग हैं, उनका भारत की सियासत में जो पैसे का हस्तक्षेप था, उसके ऊपर नियंत्रण था।
Lok Sabha is slated to take up the National Institute of Design Amendment Bill 2019 for consideration and passing. The bill seeks to amend the National Institute of Design Act 2014. Which declares the National Institute of Design in Ahmedabad as an institution of national importance. It was introduced in the Rajya Sabha by Piyush Goyal in July this year. The House will also continue the debate on air pollution and climate change. Congress MP Manish Tiwari opened the debate on Tuesday, saying that it is important to give a message to the nation that the House, comprising of the people's representatives, is sensitive and serious about this issue. The 2-hour debate saw the participation by several MPs from different parties. And for more on this, we'll go back to our correspondent Akhilesh Suman, who is joining us live from the Parliament premises. Akhilesh, for the 4th straight day today, the important legislative agenda is slated for the lower house. The National Institute of Design Amendment Bill 2019 for consideration and passing. And the House will also continue the debate on air pollution and the climate change, which is a very crucial issue right now. What is expected from the day in the lower house?
This is a really very important and very interesting subject that parliamentarians are debating since yesterday. And that the way Prime Minister Narendra Modi had committed to the world about India's contribution in climate change, stopping the climate change. So I think this is one of the most important debates in the country also, and you need to take everyone on board, not only the people, but also you need to take legislators on board, because these are the legislators who go and talk to the people, who are in living touch with the people. So the whole atmosphere of climate change is also related to how we consume, our consumption patterns, our living standards, lifestyle, everything is related to climate change. And if such debate is taking part in the lower house, it is really, I think, going to give a message to the countrymen and women that yes, climate change is an important issue and we have to address it not only through legislative measures or through government commitment, but also you need to think about our own lifestyle, how we can contribute in stopping the climate change, contribute in stopping the pollution and making our country a clean and green society, livable society. So, I think this is a very important debate and very interesting debate too, because there are so many issues involved in this. Development issues are also involved, because many people say that India is a developing country and we have our development requirements. That is why we say that those countries who are having advanced technology, who can give us advanced technology on cheaper rates, so that we can use those technology for our development needs, and also we can contribute to stopping the climate change. So, I think this is a time when every legislator will also speak their mind, and they will also commit something. They will how they will contribute to the stop this menace.
Absolutely. So, indeed, a very important discussion on air pollution and climate change to continue in the lower house today. Moving on to some more news. Thank you, Akhilesh, for joining us. And moving on to some more news, government unveiled a slew of reforms to boost the economy. In a major decision, the Union Cabinet approved a sale of government's stake in the country's second largest state-owned oil firm, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, along with 4 other PSUs. The Cabinet Committee on the Economic Affairs, headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, approved sale of government's entire 53.29% stake, along with the management control in BPCL, after taking out Numaligarh refinery from its fold. The government has also decided to sell its 31% stake in Container Corporation of India. The government will also sell its entire holding in Tehri Hydro Development Corporation of India and Northeastern Electric Power Corporation Limited to NTPC Limited. The Cabinet also decided to cut shareholding in select public sector firms below 51% to boost revenue collections.
The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has given the clearance or in principle approval for enabling reduction of Government of India paid up share capital in select central public sector enterprises, the CPSEs, to below 51% while retaining the management control. That's the most important thing. The paid up share capital will come down to 51, but ensuring that management control will still be with the government. So that's the main decision, along with transfer of certain management control to strategic buyer. However, very important in this, and I would like to state it very clearly, that this is except, in other words, this is excluding that is Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited's equity shareholding of that 61% that it holds in Numaligarh Refinery Limited will be excluded from this disinvestment.
And in a relief to the telecom sector, the Cabinet deferred payment of spectrum dues for the next 2 financial years. This means a relief of 42,000 crore rupees to the major telecom companies.
To defer receipt of the spectrum auction installments due from the TSPs for the years 2020-21 and 2021 to 22. Okay? These deferred amounts will be equally spread over the remaining installments to be paid by the TSPs.
The Cabinet approved a bill to replace an ordinance promulgated to reduce the corporate tax to 22% to boost the economy. The bill is likely to be introduced in the Parliament during the ongoing winter session. The Cabinet also cleared a bill to provide a legal framework to grant ownership rights to the people living in 1,797 unauthorized colonies in Delhi. The centre also gave its nod to the Industrial Relation Code Bill, which is the third code under the labour reforms. The government wants to codify 44 central labour laws, into 4 broad codes.
The occupational safety related code is with the standing committee. Today, the approval has been given for the industrial relations code. The fourth one is, of course, the social security. I'm not talking about that now. So there are 4 codes about the wages, which is the first one. 8th August 2019, approval was given and you were informed about it.
The Cabinet gave its approval to the Food Ministry's recent decision to import 1.2 lakh tons of onions. Cabinet also approved establishment of National Institute of Soba Rigpa in Leh. And Home Minister and BJP National President Amit Shah is addressing a rally at the moment in poll-bound Jharkhand. Let's cut across live there.
काम किया है, विकास तो किया ही, मगर सबसे बड़ा काम अगर कोई करा है तो झारखंड को नक्सलवाद से मुक्त करने का काम ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार। जो सरकार कानून और व्यवस्था को ठीक नहीं कर सकती, वो सरकार कभी भी राज्य में विकास नहीं ला सकती। रघुवर दास सरकार ने इस 5 साल के अंदर नक्सलवाद को खत्म करने की दिशा में ढेर सारे कदम उठाए और इसका परिणाम है आज झारखंड के कोने कोने में बिजली, रोड, गटर, पानी, शौचालय, गैस का सिलेंडर सब पहुंचने। मित्रों, ये काम इसलिए होते हैं कि नीचे भी कमल की सरकार है और ऊपर भी कमल की।
And there we were playing you the live visuals from poll-bound Jharkhand, where Amit Shah is addressing the election rally at the moment. Moving on to some more developments, a delegation from Uzbekistan, led by the Minister of Internal Affairs, Pulat Bobojonov, met the Indian delegation, led by Union Minister for Home Affairs, Amit Shah, in New Delhi on Wednesday. During the meeting, the two sides discussed issues of mutual interest, including bilateral counter-terrorism cooperation, capacity building and training of Uzbek security personnel in Indian institutions, border guarding and disaster management. An agreement on security cooperation between the Ministry of Home Affairs of India and the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Uzbekistan was also signed by the two ministers. Bobojonov is on a bilateral visit to India from 20th to 23rd of November. Some international developments. The Trump administration has cleared sale of naval guns to India worth $1 billion. In its notification to the Congress on Tuesday, Defense Security Cooperation Agency said that the state government has approved the sale of Mk-45 gun, which would enhance the lethal capabilities of the Indian Navy. The ultra-modern MOD-4 guns can be used against enemy warships, aircraft and for shore bombardment. With this, India has become one of the few countries that the US decided to sell its latest version of the naval guns after Australia, Japan and South Korea. And now let's talk about the environment and climate change. Climate change adversely impacts the production of important agricultural and horticultural crops in Indian Himalayan region. Increase in temperature and decrease in winter rainfall and snowfall have reduced the number of chilling hours. This has led to a significant decline in apple production in the region. Farmers have been advised to grow other horticultural crops like plums, peaches, pomegranates, and varieties of apple that require lesser number of chilling hours. Sports news now. Manu Bhaker clinched the gold medal in women's 10 meters air pistol event at ISSF for World Cup finals in China today. On course to her triumph, the young shooting sensation broke the junior world record with a total of 244.7. Bhaker is only the second Indian shooter after Hina Sidhu to win a gold medal women's 10 meters air pistol at the ISSF World Cup. And Ilavenil Valarivan claimed the top honours in the women's 10 meters air rifle competition. Ilavenil scored 250.8 in the final. And that's all we have for you in this edition. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.